Hello and welcome to Tokens Training Update video. So here we are working on downs. The very first thing we start with is the lure. So just using that food in my hand to get him into a down from that heel position. And what we try to mark with the clicker is muscles in motion. So I'm not even necessarily trying to click as soon as he gets into the down, but more so when he's on his way into the down, if I can. This is the very first step for teaching a new behavior. I'm just showing him what I want and building some reward history with it. We really like to use the clicker for new behaviors because it's much more consistent than we will ever be. I may have gone over this in the last video, but basically the clicker makes the same sound every single time, versus when it comes to us, we could be like, good, good, good. Like they all sound pretty different. So we like to use that clicker for extra clarity. It helps the dogs learn a lot faster. Now that he's doing good with the lure, you'll see on this step I'm using lure and pressure. So at the same exact time that I'm bringing my lure hand down, I'm also applying some leash pressure down. And then as soon as he gets into that down, I'm releasing the pressure and rewarding him. So we're just teaching the dogs how to control that pressure, how to turn it off, because that is going to correlate to our corrections. So down the line, once he knows a down command, if he doesn't down, we say no, and then we correct that leash downwards and then remind him what he should have been doing. So we're teaching him how to understand and respond to that correction. The leash pulling down means you should have been down, and the leash pulling up means you should have been in a sit. And I know that he already has a decent understanding of the downwards pressure because we've used it with place before, just to encourage the down on place. Again, we don't layer commands on place. I just do it so that I can get him into a down and then feed him there, just to encourage him to settle. So now at this point, he's doing good with the lure, he's doing good with the pressure. So now I'm starting to add in the command. So now I'm saying down, and then if he doesn't down, I'm adding that leash pressure. And he's basically going to learn, you say down, I go into the down, I get rewards, everything is awesome. Or you say down, I don't do it, you use the pressure to help me, and then I get rewarded. So the dogs will realize that if they just go into that down position, they can avoid the pressure entirely. And this isn't a correction, right? Because he doesn't know a down yet. I'm just using a physical form of communication to help him figure out exactly what I'm asking of him. And then I'll also try to take advantage of those moments when I can tell he's thinking about going into a down. So if I see him thinking about it, or I see him start to lower his body, I'll say down right as he's doing it, so that I can reward him for that. And he can make the connection that way as well. So a big challenge for him is going out in public. So we're working on some downs outside because, you know, it's busy, there are people, there are sounds, and he is super excited. So I could work on healing right now, but it would be pretty difficult with where he's at. This was his first outing. So we're just sitting outside the Dunhams, and I'm just having him in a down, just letting him chill, watch the environment. You know, he's got good prey drive, so he sees things move, and he really wants to go check it out. So he's just practicing some self-restraint, and ideally some relaxation, but we didn't quite get there. You also notice that I am at the end of the leash now, so this is after he learned that down command, and then we taught distance, duration, distraction the same way we do with place. So stepping off with our right foot, reminding him what he should be doing right. So down, stepping away, and then just gradually working up the 3Ds, distance, duration, distraction, until he's ready to do more challenging things like this. So I knew that he was already kind of overly aroused. I knew that indoor healing wouldn't go too well. So I just walked inside the Dunhams, took an immediate turn, and put him in a down right there. We're not going to do anything else. You're just going to be a down. You're going to see people. You're going to see things happen, and you're going to stay in obedience. Just chill out. He gets very excited when people come by and stuff, so I just want him to see that your job is a down. If you are in a down and there are exciting things, whether it's the leaves flying around, whether it's people trying to talk to you as they walk past, that's not your job. You don't got to worry about those things. That's not for you. So you can see he's pretty restless, he's pretty alert, he's pretty excited. He's fighting some demons right now. So as soon as he, chills back out again and I see that he's made the good decision to stay there, I mark and I get up and I reward. Down. Good. Down. This is exactly why I'm working on those downs. He just struggles to lay there and do nothing. He'll start trying to roll. He'll start getting super excited when people walk by. He'll also try and inch closer to me because he's like, hey, I want to do something. I want food. I want attention. And I'm just like, hey, we're not always doing something active. Down. Good. By this point, he definitely knows what good means. You'll notice here I'm using the marker and not feeding all the time, more often than I typically would. I'm doing this because he is, he's in a very up state of mind. And if I'm getting up, giving him a reward, it's not going to help him relax. So I definitely do want to reward him intermittently for making good choices and staying in the down. But I also just want him to realize that not everything is going to happen all of the time. Down. Down. I noticed that he kept trying to roll towards me or, just slowly get himself closer and closer to me. So I just decided to stand up. All right, this is our next outing to the same location. We're starting to work on some healing, some more engaged with me stuff. So I'm being very conscious of my turns and the way that it affects his attention and what he has to do. So if he's being a little bit slow, distracted, lagging a little bit behind me, I make a right turn so that he has to commit to speeding up and coming back into position. Or if he's coming forward in front of me, getting lost up ahead or going too far off to the left, I might make a left turn so that he has to think about moving back because I'm turning into him. So the more inward circles, the more left turns that we make, the more it's going to help push the dog back in the healing.
No. Heel.
Hi, buddy.
Heel. 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 Yeah. Heel. Heel. No. Heel. Yeah, buddy. Heel.
So I know that engagement for him in this environment is a little bit tricky, especially with all the leaves blowing around him. So I'm trying to help him and make him stay committed to the task at the same time.
Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. Heel. Heel.
Good.
Heel.
When it comes to getting more engagement out of your dog, you'll hear people say things like, be more interesting than your environment. So that's basically what I'm doing here is we can use obedience as an extension of play. So yes, we're doing obedience, yes, we're healing, but I'm also doing a little bit of luring. I'm doing terminal markers where you do great and I'm running back and you're coming to chase me for your food.
Token.
I'm making turns and changing my pace so that it's kind of like a game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, buddy. Free. Token.
Another thing that can help a lot with this is recall drills.
Free.
So his name is his recall word. You just say it in a certain way, just token, just like you're calling him back, right? So say it, he comes back, yay, so much fun, right? So I like to do this when he's fixated on something, if he's distracted, if he's looking at a person, if he's looking at a car, I'm calling him back and I want him to be able to redirect his attention onto me.
Free. Heel. Free. Token.
Come here. Hey. Token. Good.
Down. Free.
Good.
Down. Down.
Down. Good. Down. Good. All right, so here we are starting our first ever session of e-collar conditioning. So what I'm doing is I just have his e-collar on a super low level. I believe it's on a 4 out of 100. So it's something that he can hardly feel. It is a non-aversive level. So essentially what I'm doing is just while he's, just hanging out, I tap the e-collar. I say place and I tap, 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 tap that remote all the way until he's back on place. When he gets on place, I shut off the stim, I click, and I reward. So I'm teaching him that he is in control of the stim and that listening to commands is how we can shut it off. So he's kind of just minding his business. He goes, what's that feeling that I'm feeling? I tell him place. He starts heading to place. As soon as it gets there, it shuts off and it gets a reward. So before we ever use an e-collar for punishment, we have to make sure that the dog understands how to control the stim. So you'll see sometimes he gets kind of stuck, so I walk with him, I use the leash. If he gets stuck in a sit or something, I might remind him place, but the stim is not turning off until he gets back to the bed. And part of the reason we do the tap, tap, tap instead of continuous stim is because the continuous stim, when the dog doesn't understand how to control it yet, can kind of freak them out a little bit, because they might be like, what's that? It won't stop. Right? This is more like a seatbelt. It's more like a little seatbelt alarm. It's like ding, ding, ding. Hey, put your seatbelt on. Ding, ding. And as soon as you do, it stops.
Okay, pal.
This is what we call negative reinforcement. We are removing something to increase the likelihood of the behavior. So we are removing the stim to increase the likelihood of him going to the place bed. It's very important that he already knows send to place before we try to introduce the e-collar. He is already proficient with the skill, so we're just layering in an extra tool. So when we are working on e-collar conditioning, we will do an away from me, with me, and stay where you are. So we have to condition the dog to know how to use the tool in a bunch of different contexts. So we're teaching him how to turn it off by going away. We're teaching him how to turn it off by staying in heel. And we're going to teach him how to turn it off by staying in your down. Because if we only condition it one way, say we only ever do heel, and then I try to send him to place and he feels the e-collar, he's going to go, what do you mean? I'm already in heel, right? So we have to teach them that it applies to various different behaviors. Once we've done a good session or so of this and he's showing me that he's proficient in it and he understands it well, then I can go up a few levels and have him on place. And as soon as he steps off, no, and I can do that same tap, tap, because he was taught how to turn that off by returning back to the bed. So that's when they'll back up and they'll put themselves back on place.
Free. Place. Free. Place. Free. Place. Free. Place. Free. Place.
Yeah, buddy.
Free. Place. Free.
Now?
Place. Free.
Down.
Place. Free. Place. Free. Place. Free. Free.
Yeah, but
Place. Free. 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 Place.
good job, buddy.
Free. Place.
No.
Place.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Free.
Very nice work, buddy. Yeah.
Free. Place.
Good baby.
Free. Place.
Yeah, buddy.
Free. Place.
Yeah, very nice, buddy. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Free. Place. Place.
Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. Yeah, buddy. What a good man. You do so good.
Free.
So at this point, he's been doing pretty good, so I decided to test him. So here, we're near the bed. I start tapping the collar, but I don't tell him anything. Him feeling the stim and then automatically going to the place bed is telling me that he understands the exercise. And he understands how to control that stim.